video, we're going to take a look at relations and functions as they are introduced into an Algebra 1 class. We're going to start here with some definitions and then go to a couple of different types of questions. It's pretty common right at the beginning of a chapter that you're dealing with relations and functions. To define a relation, we're going to say that it is a set of ordered pairs. So you're going to see some set notation and then ordered pairs within that set notation. When looking at a relation, a set of ordered pairs, we can define the domain as the set of all x coordinates, and we can define the range as the set of all y coordinates. So those are two things that we can identify really easily when we are given a relation. Alright, usually also then the next thing that follows right after that is the definition of a function. A function is a relation that has a one-to-one relationship. Okay, so translating that maybe into something that makes a little bit more sense is that there is no x value that corresponds to more than one y value. So every x is paired with one and only one y value. Alright, so typically after you've gone through these definitions and you have an understanding of this, a typical question in an Algebra 1 class would be find the domain and range when given a relation. Alright, so in this first example here, the relation is in set notation and it is literally just a set of ordered pairs. Alright, so for my domain, I am going to take a look at all of the x coordinates. So let's identify those x coordinates. I've got a -1, a 6, and a 3. Alright, typically your textbook answer is going to want you to put these in order from smallest to largest. Alright, and use set notation as well. So I'm going to start with my set brackets, and then -1, and then the 3, and then the 6. If there would have been 4 different ordered pairs there, and the 6 would have been twice, then I would have only listed it one time. You're only going to list each one of those x coordinates one time. Alright, now let's take a look at the range then. The range are the y coordinates. Alright, so identify those. Capital R for range, again putting our answer in set notation there, and so I've got a 2 and a 0 and a -5. You're probably going to want to write those in order from least to greatest, so a -5 and then a 0 and then a 2. Okay, so pretty easy there to identify domain and range. Now you might also be given a question in a mapping format. Okay, so they can either use bubbles here for the x and y's, or they can use boxes. Just depends on how they draw this. But this is a relation, and it's given to you in the form of a mapping. So again, this one maybe even is a little bit better here because it's already identified your x's and your y's. All right, the mapping part, it's showing that -1 is paired with 2, so the ordered pair that would be from that would be a -1, 2. 3 is paired with the -4, so the ordered pair is 3, -4, and then 5 is paired with the 8 there, so the ordered pair is 5, 8. So I can clearly go and look at my domain, which is the x coordinates as they sit right there in that bubble. Writing them from least to greatest, I would have a -1 and a 3 and a 5. Alright, and then taking a look at those y coordinates, which have already been grouped together for us, the range then would be a -4 and a 2 and an 8. Alright, so definitely one type of question that can be addressed with this is asking you to identify that domain and range when given a relation. Okay, now stepping it up to the function. They can also ask you to determine whether or not the given relation is a function. Okay, so they're going to probably give it to you in set notation. Alright, and then they want you to determine, is it a function? Well, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take a look at those x coordinates. So -3, 2, and 6. Alright, no x values are duplicated. The -3 is paired with 1, the 2 is paired with 7, the 6 is paired with a 0. So let's write down here what we can conclude here. No x values are duplicated. Pretty straightforward. No x values are duplicated. Alright, if that's the case, alright, then yes, this relation is a function. So to answer the question, yes, it's a function. Okay, because it's a matter of just taking a look at those x coordinates. Okay, so in this one over here, I'm going to take a look at all those x coordinates. I've got a 6, a 3, a -2, and a 6. Okay, now red flag right here. The 6 is paired with a 2, but the 6 is also paired with an 8. All right, the 6 is paired with 2 different y values. All right, that is not allowed. That means it is not a one-to-one relationship. All right, so in this case, then I've got no, it's not a function. So this relation is not a function because the 6 was paired with the 2 and the 6 was paired with the 8. So pretty straightforward concepts that are covered really early in an Algebra 1 class. Definitely thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks.